Hello, this is Pastor Oakley with another Calvary confirmation to go. And today we're looking at confession and absolution. Let's read through this together. What is confession? Confession has two parts. First, that we confess our sins, and second, that we receive absolution. That is forgiveness from the pastor, as from God himself, not doubting, but firmly believing that by it our sins are forgiven before God in heaven. What sins should we confess? Before God, we should plead guilty to all sins, even those we are not aware of, as we do in the Lord's Prayer. But before the pastor, we should confess only those sins which we know and feel in our heart. Which are these? Consider your place in life according to the Ten Commandments. Are you a father, mother, son, daughter, husband, wife, or worker? Have you been disobedient, unfaithful, or lazy? Have you been hot-tempered, rude, or quarrelsome? Have you hurt someone by your words or deeds? Have you stolen, been negligent, wasted anything, or done any harm? Let's work through some of these terms. First off, just the idea of confession, absolution. Confession is I admit my sin. Absolution is Jesus forgives me. Again, this is important. This is ultimately where we're brought to, but he can do that through a pastor, through another person, and he has agents of absolution, of course, but it is ultimately the forgiveness of Jesus, forgiveness of God for us. The main agent of absolution for us is the pastor, and of course, a pastor is Jesus' shepherd. The word pastor literally means shepherd. So, but we are under the good shepherd, the chief shepherd's guidance, right? I don't act on my own. I need to forgive the sins that Jesus would forgive, right? Those who confess them. Plead guilty is to agree with God's judgment. God says, let me spell judgment here, but God says that we are guilty, and we plead to it, right? We don't plead our innocence, we plead our guilt to him, because even though we are guilty, Christ has paid the price, and we are made innocent by him. So then we think about, okay, well, how do I work through this? How do I come to good confession? And consider your place. And this is know your calling. And calling, we have a special term for it in the church. It's called vocation. And you'll see that he gives us some of the very basic ones, right, up here. Father, mother, son, daughter, husband, wife, or worker, right? There are other callings as well, of course, but these are ones that touch many of us in our lives. So, and callings always have responsibilities. And a lot of times we're just saying, am I living up to my responsibility? Responsibility. So, we're considering our place and the responsibilities that are connected to it and how we should respond. Because again, I don't want to be hot-tempered, but can I be angry? Well, yeah, if I'm rightfully protecting my family from harm and someone who would do them harm, I can be angry at them, but I don't want to be hot-tempered, rude, or quarrelsome, and those kinds of things. Speaking of quarrelsome, we want to define that. That's not a word we see a lot. And quarrelsome is simply looking to fight, right? Like you just want to fight, and you're looking for any excuse to do it. Hopefully you're not like that, but some people are. And sometimes, you have the mood, right? Like, oh, I just want to mix it up a little bit. But it's not a good place to be. We should always be people of peace. And then negligent. What does it mean to be negligent? Well, that is not doing my job. And that connects right back up here with responsibilities. Well, what is my job? Well, I have responsibilities. And the Bible unpacks that. In fact, in the small catechism, our vocational duties are spelled out largely under these categories, although there are others as well. And another good place to understand responsibilities would be the book of Proverbs. So you might, it's always a good book to study just to see kind of how we're meant to act towards each other as neighbors, as people of responsibility in our various roles, however it might be. But the Bible's full of good wisdom, but Proverbs is especially loaded. Well, I hope you find that helpful, and I will talk to you soon. God bless.